Okay, welcome to this evening session. Thanks for joining us. My name is Emily, for anyone who is watching this and is new. We're just going to begin by settling into the space where you're sitting or laying, placing your hands across your chest. We'll take a nice big inhale through the nose, filling up our belly. And on the exhale, just sighing that breath out and seeing if there's anything that you would like to put in the worry bowl. So you might like to sigh some things out, just letting it go. And just taking a few nice deep breaths as you consider what there is at the forefront of your mind that you might like to place in the worry bowl for this time that we have together. And if you like, you can speak these things aloud or just continue to sigh them out, or maybe hum or make any sound, sing, scream, shout, however you'd like to express these things from your mind and from your body. Just allowing yourself this moment to bring them to your forefront of your mind and let them go. And if you like, you can have some gentle movement, perhaps swaying your body from side to side. Anything that's been weighing down on your shoulders, or maybe it's causing upset in your stomach or whirling around in the mind, anything at all you don't want to carry for this time that we have together. We'll take one more big inhale in together, breathing in through the nose, filling up your belly. And a big sigh, letting go. And we'll pop that bowl of worries and concerns out of sight, out of mind. And we'll give our subconscious permission to let go of a few things as well. So you can repeat after me, saying out loud, I give my subconscious mind permission to let go of my worries and fears now. And having given yourself that permission, we're just going to tap our way over the body and just unblock anything that's blocked in our energy field. So just taking your hands slightly cupped and tapping your way from your belly. And just noticing as you move over each part of you, if there is the feeling of stuckness, a bit of extra tension perhaps, or a little bit of extra pain. And just tapping a bit harder on that area or for a bit longer, whatever feels right for you. And just tapping your way down the inside of your arm. And big happy seals in the middle. Big round of applause for showing up for yourself. And tapping your way back up the outside of your arm. Just shifting that life force energy through the body, unblocking anything that's there to be unblocked. And then tapping your way down the other side. And another big happy seal opportunity, happy walrus. And tapping your way back up. Or another big pat on the back for pushing through whatever it is that you have pushed through to be able to be here for yourself. And then we're just going to bring our attention to our face, just tapping down the center of your face. Tuning into that sensation of raindrops coming down the face. I'm not sure if you can hear the rain in the background here, but there is a big storm. And just tapping down the edges of your face as well. And we're just going to create gentle fists with our hands and tap over the top of the head. Now, if this is too much for you, you might just like to run your fingers through your hair. But either way, we're just going to do 3 rows. Just allowing that to bring your attention to the surface of your head. Noticing any tension that you're storing here, any pain here. We're going to find our kidneys. Give yourself a pat on the lower back before we tap our way down the outside of our legs. All the way down to the top of your feet and then back up the inside of your legs. And just coming to rest your hands back on your belly, taking a nice big inhale through the nose, filling up your belly. And a big sigh, just letting that breath go. And just taking a few breaths in this way at your own pace and allowing yourself a moment to check in with how it feels in your body, how it truly feels to be you in this moment. Maybe tuning into that buzzing sensation that may have been created from the tapping. Tuning into any discomfort, any tension. Just noticing the thoughts that are moving through your mind. Not attaching to any of them, just letting them move through. When you're ready, we're going to begin this session by just gently connecting in with our neck and shoulders. So placing your hands on anywhere that feels tense in this area. If you have any sort of massaging device, you're welcome to grab it and use that instead. Otherwise, just massaging, self-massaging your neck and shoulders. Maybe moving your head around a little bit. And just finding those areas where you might be storing a little extra tension and just massaging into those places. And just noticing how any discomfort might shift and change as you apply some pressure. Just really taking a moment to notice what's here for you. And you can connect in any way. If there's another area of your body that you're feeling more called to go to, perhaps you'd like to move down your arms. But if you're holding most of your tension like I do up in your neck and shoulders, then I just welcome you to explore all the way around here. Just exploring perhaps up into the back of your neck or way into the base of your skull. Might be storing a bit of tension up in there. For you, it might be further around the back of your shoulder blades. And if your hands need a break, you can just put them down by your side, but just keep exploring your neck. So it might look like taking your head over to one side. You might even like to reach out and just pull that ear slightly away from that shoulder, just creating a bit of a stretch there. Maybe you want to add strengthening into it, just pressing up against that hand for a couple of seconds and then letting go, relaxing once again. Maybe taking it over the other side, balancing that out. If you stretched it out with your hand on one side, you should probably do the same on the other, just creating a bit of balance there. If you did the strengthening exercise, just pressing up against that hand for a couple of seconds. And then relaxing, letting go. And you might like to take your gaze over from shoulder to shoulder. You might like to even do some half moons or full moons, just exploring the range of motion that you're able to have with your neck. And it might not be as wide as mine, maybe it's smaller movements, and that's perfectly fine. Just meet yourself exactly where you're at. We don't want to cause any injuries here. If you like, you can take your hands back up to your neck and shoulders and connect in a little more with some more massage. And perhaps you'd like to just take the attention from either side of your neck, just massaging the outside of your vagus nerve, massaging down from behind your ears, down either side. And since we're in this area, we might open up our lymphatic system. And so we'll just begin with our collarbone. So just above and below, we're just going to rub back and forth about 10 times here, opening up our lymphatic flow. And then tapping on this same area. And then the other side. And then we'll come back up to our neck and just massaging down. If it's tender, just go easy, be gentle with yourself. Just massaging here 10 times. I've lost count, but that feels right. And then just tapping, and then the other side. And then we'll just make those gentle fists with our hands and start in the center of your chest. We're going to move back and forth all the way to the edges and then back. And when it feels right, you can do the tapping on this area. And then we'll just massage in underneath your underarm. And then just punching into that crevice there under your arm. And then the other side. And underneath your breasts or pecs, just alternating that top hand back and forth. And then you can stay seated. I'll just lean up to show you, but in the crease of your groin, you can just massage in a down and out motion. And then tapping into that area. And then the last one, just beneath your knees, just rubbing back and forth. And tapping. And then if you are seated, you can just place your feet out in front of you and lean back on your hands. We're just going to get some movement here in our hips, just rotating from side to side, just at your own pace. Just moving back and forth like windscreen wipers. And if you're seated on a chair or the edge of the bed, and just creating the same movement with your legs, just making sure you're stable before you begin. And just getting that movement in your hip. I don't know if yours is clicking like mine is, but just allowing for a nice slow controlled movement there, getting that internal and external rotation happening. Allowing for any tension and trauma to come on out of that area. You might like to hold each side for a little longer, maybe a couple of breaths, and just feel the sensation of what's there in that hip from each position. Or you might just prefer to keep the movement going from side to side. It's totally up to you how you explore these positions and the pace at which you want to go. And when you feel ready, you can bring yourself back to a seated position. We're just going to do some cat-cow type of stretching, so you can stay seated and just press your belly forward, your shoulders back, your head up to the sky, and then twisting it over and curling it over and rolling the shoulders over and tucking it in. And if you like, you can get onto your hands and knees and move through those same sort of positions, dropping that belly down, taking the head up, and then transitioning over to curl it all in. And whichever way you're doing it, you can invite some exploration as well. So you might like to drop a shoulder at a time from each position. It'll look different, obviously, if you're seated, just moving one shoulder forward and back as you get that movement through your back. And if you're on your hands and knees, you might feel inclined to just sort of shift your hips a little bit from side to side, or maybe in circles or a figure of eight. Just see if there's anywhere else that your body's calling for you to explore as you transition from these two positions. You might like to take your weight forward and backwards. And if you are up on your hands and knees and your wrists get a bit tired, feel free to just widen out your knees and sit back onto your heels, stretching out your arms. Of course, if you're experimenting and playing around with the movement from a seated position, You're welcome at any stage to just bring your body forward and pause, getting in a similar sort of resting pose with an opening in your hips. You might even like to open out your legs. And if you are practicing from a seat, then you might just like to rest as you lean forward into a bit of a hip opener there. And just take a few deep breaths and feel into that rest, into that hip opener, whichever way that you're doing it, whatever that looks like for you. And for those of you who are on a mat, I invite you to just position yourself lengthways. We're just going to lower ourselves down onto the mat. So just beginning with a gentle lean back and then lifting your feet up. If you'd like, you can pedal through that movement and just feel for that heat and shakiness to build in your core as you strengthen it. Once you feel that sensation in your body, you might like to lower yourself down. And anyone's practicing from a seat, just recreating the same sort of posture, engaging that front of your belly as you lean back, waiting for that heat and that shakiness to start building. Once your body signals to you it's had enough, then you can just bring yourself forward and create a similar engagement of the back of your back. And for anyone who has already come down onto the mat, then you're welcome to just rest here for a while if you like, or you can bring your body up, creating a nice line from your knees to your shoulders. Or you might prefer to put your feet together and lift yourself up, whichever way you'd like to do it, and just hold for as long as you like, feeling for your body signals when it's had enough, and then you can just lower yourself down, take a rest, and then lift yourself back up in whichever position feels right for you. And for anyone who is on the seat, you can just transition from that forward position, leaning up and then leaning your back so that you're engaging your stomach and then your back and alternating between the two. And if you are on the mat and you've had enough, then you can just place your feet together, let your knees fall out wide either side, and you can bring your hands up as well, creating a nice big opening all through your center. And just take a few deep breaths here, breathing right into your core, into your belly, allowing that air to fill up your belly and then your chest. And then coming out from your chest and out from your belly. And anyone who is seated, you might just like to create a nice opening for yourself, similar with your knees out wide. It's up to you if you want to have your hands down on your legs or if you want to bring them open. But just similarly breathing into the center of you, breathing into your belly. And just taking a moment to slow everything down and tune into your body, having released a little bit of tension, having stretched a little bit. And I invite you to bring your knees back up and into your chest. We're going to give ourselves a little hug here. A gentle little roll around, just massaging your back on the mat. And if you're practicing from a chair or from the edge of a bed, wherever you might be, you're welcome to just fold your body forward and sort of hug onto your knees. Or you might prefer to just bring one up at a time, maybe rolling your ankles. Just seeing how it feels to have your knees to your chest in whichever way suits you. Creating a nice little bit of closeness there. And then when you're feeling ready, for anyone who's on the mat, just stretching your legs out and If you need to get any cushions for support or anything at all, then you can grab those now. Just invite you to find a comfortable position. If you'd like to have your hands up to receive or down for grounding. And if you're seated, then you might like to grab hold of a cushion and hug it, or maybe just grab hold of yourself for a nice hug, or a softened version of this, one hand under one arm, the other across your chest. However you'd like to position yourself, we're just going to do a little guided meditation now, just taking a break from our movement for a bit as the thunder and lightning goes on in the background. So just taking a moment wherever you are to get that little bit more comfortable, and just allowing yourself to relax into the surface beneath you as you relax into your body. And maybe noticing how that surface beneath you provides support to your body. And noticing how that support feels as your body settles into this moment and into this stillness. And perhaps you're able to notice your surroundings, maybe tuning into the sounds that you can hear nearby, if you can hear the rain in the background. Or perhaps your attention is drawn towards the different tones in my voice. Or maybe your focus is going inward. Perhaps your attention is drawn deep down into your body, noticing some of those internal sensations that are happening deep inside of you. Perhaps you're choosing to focus on your heartbeat and noticing how it feels in your chest. And maybe you're unconsciously aware of the movement of blood throughout your body as your heart steadily beats. Or your attention might be drawn more towards the way your lungs instinctively know when to take in air and when to let the air go. Or perhaps you're choosing to notice how you're able to let go of thoughts, how you're able to detach from any thought that arises, simply witnessing as you allow it to float through your mind, letting each one go. And as you settle deeper into your body and settle deeper into the space where your body sits, I invite you to give yourself permission to be authentically you, and permission for you to be exactly where you're at in your life right now. And having given yourself this permission, perhaps you're noticing now how you're able to relax even deeper, allowing for your body to release even more tension. Noticing your facial muscles relaxing. Noticing how your body is able to fully relax and let go of anything that isn't comfort and ease. And as you continue to settle and let your mind soften, loosening the grip of any thoughts about what's ahead or what has come before, simply allowing yourself to arrive here in this present moment, letting each breath bring you closer to that calm center within. And now, as you continue to relax, I invite you to consider that you already possess so many skills that have helped you navigate life in a variety of ways. I imagine that in order to be here today, that you've had to use your skills of researching and seeking out alternative solutions to try and heal. And you have developed the skill to be able to show up for yourself, despite it being a challenge sometimes. How do I know this? Because here you are, showing up for yourself now, doing this practice, improving your mobility and your mindset and your overall well-being. Here you are, making time for yourself, ensuring that your body can transition into that restful parasympathetic state where your body can heal. You have these skills, and I want to invite you to imagine what your life might feel like if you applied these skills more often. Imagine planning time that is purely for reconnecting with yourself, your mind, your body, your inner world, just like you would plan any other important healing appointment, allowing time to reconnect with yourself. And I know it can feel daunting to reconnect with the body, a body that feels so painful and uncomfortable and tired. But you see, all of those symptoms, they are messages from the body. They are part of our inner guidance system. But it's hard to understand what this guidance system is saying when it's screaming at us. It feels challenging, right? And perhaps you've tried, like I did for many years, to silence the screams with medications and band-aid solutions. But it's like the body just starts screaming in a different dialect. It wasn't until I hit my ultimate rock bottom that I finally started to learn the language of my body, the language of my nervous system. And I learned how to decipher the messages and trust in what my body was trying to tell me. But you see, trust doesn't form in an instant. Just like when you meet someone new, trust builds through time spent together. So if you're feeling disconnected from your body's signals, your higher wisdom or your intuition, however you'd like to name it, it simply means there's an opportunity here, an invitation to deepen that connection by creating more time for it. So take a moment to imagine yourself committing to taking time just for yourself. Perhaps in the morning light, or a quiet afternoon, or in those calm moments before you sleep. Simply being with yourself and noticing the rhythm of your breath, the sensations in your body, and witnessing the thoughts in your mind and how they impact the way you feel. Sinking into the experience of being rather than doing. And as you do this, you can begin to learn the language of you. And the more time you spend with yourself, the easier it becomes to understand yourself and to trust yourself. Just as when learning any language, the best way to become fluent is to immerse yourself, to have no other option than to speak that language. So imagine what it would be like to immerse yourself in the language of you. Imagine immersing yourself in your body. And perhaps immersing your body in a place that brings you the most peace. Taking yourself to spend time in nature perhaps. Letting your body feel the warmth of the sun, the coolness of the breeze, the grounding stability of the earth beneath you. Or perhaps you can envision other moments of peace, moments where you feel at ease. And every time you truly immerse yourself in these peaceful, easeful moments, you can grow more familiar with the feelings that arise within you. the signals that can guide you towards the elements of your life that are healing. And in doing so, you're building a foundation of trust, a familiarity with your inner language, a knowing of when you're in a positive healing alignment, so that you're so attuned to notice the exact moment, the subtle shift when you fall out of it. And the beauty of it is, the more you spend time in such moments of ease and peace, the easier it becomes to recognize the shift. The easier it becomes to know when and how to reconnect and anchor back into yourself, and anchor into the necessary action that allows you to return to that state of healing, of rest and digest. And in becoming so conscious of your internal shifts, you become fluent in the language of your body. And you start to notice how the world around you impacts your body, impacts your symptoms, and how the people in your life expand or contract your heart. How thinking a certain thought can change the internal sensations in your body, and how they can change your brain chemistry. And you can become aware of all the subtle intricacies of the inner workings of your body and mind when you start to spend time in awareness, learning the language of you. And so I invite you to take a moment now to simply be with your body and to listen to what it's trying to say without any judgment. And if there is some emotion coming up for you as you tune into these messages, then I invite you to allow the sensations to move through you as you join me in a nice deep breath in through the nose and filling up your belly, and pausing at the top of that breath before exhaling with a nice big sigh when you're ready. And simply repeating that breath at your own pace, allowing that exhale to help calm your nervous system while you connect in deeper with those signals. And if you like, you can bring some gentle movement back into your body, wherever your body might be positioned. If you're feeling the need to stretch or just shift in any way, feel free to make those movements. And you're welcome to remain lying down if that's where you are. You're also welcome to sit yourself up. I'm going to invite you to join me now in some interception skill building tapping. So you can do this lying down or sitting up, it's totally up to you. We're just going to really build upon our skills of being in our body and sitting with any discomfort that arises. So when you're ready, just beginning on the karate point of one of your hands, tapping here. And you can repeat after me, or you can change the sentences if you feel to, if you need to. I'm just going to begin by saying, I acknowledge discomfort in my body. and yet I know I am safe. And then when you're ready, moving on to the other hand. And here we're going to say, I recognize these sensations as warning signals. But I know that right now I am safe. And then when you're ready, we're going to move up to our eyebrows and tap here as we say, I acknowledge that I often feel pain. And I know I have tools to cope. And then moving around to the side of your eyes and that bony part there. I know these sensations are messages from my body. And I stop resisting against them. And then we're going to move underneath our eyes and tap here as we say, I bring my attention to the discomfort. As I learn my body's language. And then when you're ready, moving, you're tapping underneath the nose and saying, I release my fear of the sensations in my body. And then bringing the tapping onto the chin. I recognize my emotions are heightened by discomfort. And I accept my emotions as valid. And then bringing your tapping onto your collarbones, we're going to tap here and say, I embrace the sensation of emotions moving through me. And I begin to feel safe in my body. And then we're going to move our tapping down underneath one arm and say, the more I relax my body, the more my body can heal. And then on the other side, tapping here, we'll say, the more I relax my mind, the more my mind can heal. And then we're going to bring our tapping up to the top of our head, and you can move it all around or keep it in one spot. And we'll say, as I release tension, I reduce my discomfort. And you can stop your tapping at any time you please and just go ahead and take a deep breath in, breathing life into your body, allowing it to flow freely and unblock any remaining tension as it flows through you to every cell. And just resettling your body into a position that feels comfortable and supported now. So if you're sitting up, you may like to lie yourself back down. Just make any adjustments that you might need to make. Just going to do another little practice with creative visualization. We're going to focus our mind's attention on how it feels to exist in a healthy and vibrant body, experiencing joy. And knowing that the more we can conjure up the imagery and the feeling in our body, the more happy, feel-good chemicals our brains naturally create. So go all in as best you can. Imagine in 3 years' time embodying a healthier version of you. And you get to choose your level of health and whatever that means for you. You get to decide how much progress you've been able to make in that time. So go ahead and imagine whatever level of health or well-being that you can believe is possible. And once you get a sense of that, I want you to imagine timesing that by 10, just for fun. Whatever health and well-being you can imagine, just go ahead and times it by 10. And I want you to tune into where you are in the world. And what season is it where you are? You can be anywhere at all. And what time of day is it in this place where you've placed yourself in 3 years' time, being the healthiest, most vibrant version of you? Where is the light coming from? Is there the warmth of sun on your skin? What are your feet touching? Are they in shoes or are they bare on the earth or in water? And just tuning in to how it feels in your body, how it feels in your muscles. Do they feel strong? Do they feel warm? Do they feel big? How do they feel? How does it feel in your heart? How does your breath move through your body? And what are your thoughts like as this healthy, vibrant version of you? What are the thoughts that go through your mind that might be different to now? Are there any smells that are anchoring you to this moment, to this place where you've placed yourself in the future? Are there any sensations that you are noticing? Maybe there's a breeze that you can feel. And just tuning into the sounds that you can hear. Do the sounds make you want to move? How do the sounds make you feel? And what is your posture like in 3 years' time as you sit or stand wherever you're placing yourself in the world? How are you positioned? Are you looking up at the horizon, chin up? Is your chest open? Is your breath going deep into your center? How do you place yourself? How do you position yourself as this healthy, vibrant version of you? Just bring it all to life as much as you possibly can. Noticing who might be around you, what faces you can see, if there's other people smiling at you. And if you don't already have a big smile on your own face, see what happens when you put one on there now. Notice any shifts and changes that happen in your mind, in your body. Now going ahead and taking a deep breath in and imagining yourself breathing in this feeling into your lungs. This feeling of health and vitality and all the beauty that surrounds you. Go ahead and breathe it into your airways and allow it to spread throughout every part of you, reaching every organ and reaching every cell. And as you exhale, just let go of anything that doesn't serve you. Let it out of your body, let it out of your mind, any self-limiting beliefs, any internal blocks and barriers, old patterns, habits, ways of thinking or being or doing, anything at all that's not serving you, just let it go with that exhale. And as you continue to breathe in this feeling that you're conjuring up in the mind and in the body, you might like to assign it a color. It might be your favorite color. It might be a color from this scene in front of you. Whatever color, or maybe it's a blending of colors. Whatever feels right for you, just imagine that energy as a color coming into your body, breathing it through your body, through your airways, through your organs, through your cells, through every part of you. And perhaps you'd like to imagine those things that are coming out. Maybe they're shadows, maybe they're a bit of darkness there, or maybe they're your least favorite color. Whatever you'd like to imagine them, just imagine them coming out of you. Whatever visual representation that you want to give them. You can just cycle your breath in this way, breathing nice and deep into your belly. And perhaps some big sighs, letting go. And as you breathe in this way, I invite you to set yourself an intention of an action that you intend to take that will help you move towards embodying this feeling in your future, this healthier, vibrant version of you 2.0 or 3.0, whatever 0.0 number you'd like. And it could be an action that you take tonight or tomorrow or every day or once a week. Whatever feels right for you. So you can go ahead and set your intention, see what comes in. And it's up to you if you'd like to speak it aloud, let the universe know, let your plants know, let anything know what your action is that you intend to take to improve your health and improve your life. And once you've stated your intention aloud, I invite you to just start to bring some movement back into your body, perhaps just a gentle sway from side to side. As you start to bring yourself back into the present moment. And totally up to you when you make the choice to blink open your eyes and let light come back in. We're just going to explore some free-flowing movement, and it's okay if you're still lying down. You can still create some movement in your body in any way that feels good for you. Just exploring if your body wants to stretch out to the sides or maybe up overhead, or rolling wrists and ankles, just making any little micro adjustments that you might need to make with your body, and moving in any way that feels right for you. Excuse me. Just for anyone who doesn't know, I randomly hiccup. I'm not an alcoholic, I'm not drunk. And just continuing to move if that feels nice for you. Or you can choose to join me in another round of our chi tapping. So just bringing your hands slightly cupped onto your lower belly and just tapping your way from here all the way up your body. Onto your chest and tapping your way down one side. And all the way down one of your arms, coming to give yourself a big round of applause, be a big happy seal, put that smile back on your face. And tapping your way back up the outside of your arm, all the way up to give yourself a big pat on the back for showing up and doing these practices. And tapping your way down this other arm. Another opportunity to build up some happy seal, round of applause energy. And tapping your way back up. And another big pat on the back. We're almost done. And we're just going to bring our attention to our face, gentle raindrops down the center. And another row slightly further out. And one more down the edges of the face. And we'll just tap our way with gentle fists over the top of our head, down around to the back of your neck. And another row. We'll do 3 in total. And we'll just find our kidneys, give ourselves a pat on the lower back and tap our way down our legs. And coming back up. And just resting your hands back on your lower belly, once again closing your eyes down. We'll take a nice big inhale here, breathing into your belly through your nose. Big sigh, letting go. And just take a few breaths at your own pace as you return to check in with how it feels in your body. How it feels coming out the other side of doing these practices together. Of having moved in ways that maybe you haven't moved today, having unblocked that lymphatic flow, getting the toxins out. How it feels having unblocked some stagnant energy and shifted your life force energy through your body. Maybe you're noticing a slight buzzing sensation. Maybe you're noticing something else. And just noticing what you notice and not noticing what you don't. Just allowing yourself this moment of pause before you return to your evening. We'll go ahead and finish up by making 3 sounds of VU together. I'll just have some water before we do. And as we do this noise, make this sound together, we're going to place one hand on the diaphragm and one on our chest, and just really tune in to the sensations as we make this noise, massaging our vagus nerve from the inside, sending that vibration all the way down through our throat. And just notice how your diaphragm expands, and you might notice how your heart is more, you notice the beating a little bit more. But you can notice whatever you notice as we make this sound together. So we'll just take an inhale now, breathing in through the nose. And another breath in when you're ready. One more, breathing in nice and deep. And that does bring us to the end of our session. I want to thank you for showing up for yourself in this way and being part of this healing community. And for anyone who's watching on the recording, there will be a link in the comments if you would like to make a donation. But you're always welcome to show up here and watch these without needing to. You're always welcome. I want to thank you once again for being here. I'll just finish up that recording now.